You like intimacy? We all do. But here's the real question. What kind of intimate activities are Americans actually into? Hi, I'm Dr. Cyra Malik, a board-certified urologist with over a decade of experience helping men and their partners protect their health, improve performance, and feel genuinely confident in their intimate lives. And today, I'm breaking down the top 10 intimate activities Americans are into, based on one of the largest nationally representative studies ever conducted on this subject. Now, before we get started, let me ask you something. Where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. I truly love seeing this community come together from all corners of the world. And while you're there, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because we have a lot more honest, supportive, and clinically grounded health content coming your way. And trust me, number 9 and number 10 on this list are going to genuinely surprise you. Let's dive in. Here's something I want you to hold on to right from the beginning. There is no single normal way to express your intimate life. Too often, men come into my office quietly worried. Is it normal that I enjoy this? Is it strange that my partner asked about that? Am I the only one who does this? And the truth is, intimate expression is as diverse as fingerprints. What feels exciting, meaningful, or pleasurable to you may be completely different from what your neighbor, your coworker, or your brother-in-law experiences. And that is perfectly okay. This study offers us one powerful takeaway. You are far less unusual than you might think. Millions of people are exploring, experimenting, and enjoying a wide range of intimate activities, most of them perfectly healthy, completely normal, and more common than you'd ever imagine. So where does this information come from? Researchers surveyed over 2,000 American adults, 975 men, and just over 1,000 women across every age group, ethnicity, and background. The survey was fully confidential, giving participants the freedom to answer honestly about what they've actually done, what they genuinely enjoy, and what they think about privately. And while the majority of participants, 91%, identified as heterosexual, this still gives us a remarkably rich and honest snapshot of what Americans are really into. I'm Dr. Cyra Malik. I've spent years in clinical urology, specializing in men's health and intimate wellness, and I've worked with hundreds of men who worry they're not normal, who feel embarrassed about their desires, or who simply want reassurance that what they're experiencing is okay. And I can tell you this with confidence, most of what you think is unusual simply isn't. So let's normalize this conversation. Let's talk openly, honestly, and completely without judgment. Here are the top 10 intimate activities in America today. Number 1, traditional intercourse. Not shocking, right? This is by far the most common activity, with 88% of men and 91% of women reporting regular intimacy when they have a partner. Biologically, this makes complete sense. It's the most natural way humans connect reproductively, and it's also the foundation of emotional closeness for many couples. It represents trust, vulnerability, and togetherness in a way few other experiences do. But just because it's expected doesn't mean it has to become routine. Position changes, honest communication, and a genuine focus on mutual pleasure can keep this core activity feeling fresh and fulfilling for years. In my practice, I've seen how couples who keep communication open about this experience far greater satisfaction long term. Number 2, self-pleasure now. Here's one that always makes people uncomfortable to discuss, but let's be honest. Over 80% of men and women engage in self-pleasure. In fact, in the last month alone, 64% of men and 41% of women admitted to it. Biologically, it helps regulate hormones, supports prostate health in men, and keeps function sharp. Emotionally, it reduces stress and helps you stay connected to what genuinely feels good for your own body. Practically, it's private, accessible, and requires no partner. As long as it's not interfering with your relationships or your daily life, it is completely normal. In fact, from a clinical standpoint, it can be genuinely beneficial. So if you've ever felt shame around this, and many of my patients have, I want you to hear this clearly from me as your doctor. You shouldn't. It's healthy. It's normal. And it's part of taking care of yourself. Number 3, oral intimacy, giving and receiving, both are extremely common, with more than 80% of Americans engaging in oral intimacy at some point in their lives. Biologically, this is one of the most effective pathways to pleasure for a partner, particularly for women, who often need this type of stimulation to reach full satisfaction. Emotionally, it's widely regarded as a sign of generosity and trust, partners learning to prioritize each other's pleasure beyond the basics. But here's the clinical reality, and I won't skip past it. Infections can still be transmitted orally, herpes, HPV, and others. Protection matters. Barrier methods aren't glamorous conversation topics, but they are effective and important. The bigger picture is that oral intimacy is about connection, generosity, and learning what truly brings your partner joy. Number 4, watching adult content controversial? Absolutely common? Even more so. 82% of men and 60% of women report watching adult content at some point. Biologically, occasional viewing can enhance arousal, but in excess, it rewires the brain's reward system, leading to decreased sensitivity and very real struggles with function. This is something I see the consequences of in my clinic more than most people might expect. Emotionally, it can generate unrealistic expectations, comparing real-life intimacy to fantasy, and consistently coming up short. Practically, moderation is everything. Adult content is entertainment, not education. Healthy intimacy requires communication, patience, and genuine presence, not performance. So if you watch it, be mindful. And if you begin to notice it affecting your real connection with a partner, it's time to step back and reassess. Number 5, wearing special clothing or lingerie. This one might genuinely surprise you. About 75% of women and even 26% of men admit they've chosen special clothing or undergarments specifically for a partner. Why? Because anticipation is extraordinarily powerful. Biologically, when you see your partner making an intentional effort, your brain releases dopamine, the reward chemical that drives excitement and desire. Emotionally, it communicates something beautiful. You are worth the effort. Practically, it's one of the simplest ways to inject novelty and energy back into a long-term relationship. You don't need grand gestures. Sometimes a small act of intentionality changes everything. Number 6, sending intimate photos or messages. This is where things become significantly riskier. 65% of men and 54% of women admit to sending or receiving intimate or suggestive photos. Biologically, it taps into the excitement of anticipation, the thrill of visual connection even when you're apart. Emotionally, it can feel thrilling, deeply personal, and intimate. Practically, it carries serious risk. Phones get hacked. Relationships end. Images can resurface years later in ways that cause lasting harm. If you engage in this, please protect yourself. Avoid showing your face. Only share with someone you trust completely. And remember, once you hit send, you have lost control of that image permanently. This isn't about paranoia. It's about being intelligent with your own safety and dignity. Number 7, reading erotic stories. More than 57% of Americans have done this, with women leaning more toward literary content while men tend to prefer visual stimulation. Biologically, arousal is not just visual, it is profoundly mental. The brain is genuinely the most powerful organ involved in intimate arousal. Emotionally, erotic literature allows for safe exploration of fantasies without any real-world risk or consequence. Practically, this can be a wonderful couples activity, reading together, sharing what excites you, and using that as a natural springboard for deeper, real-life intimacy. Sometimes the imagination is more powerful than anything else you could try. Number 8, intimacy in adventurous locations. Now we're entering more surprising territory. About 43% of people admit to having intimate moments in an adventurous or semi-public place at least once. Biologically, the adrenaline rush genuinely heightens arousal. Your body doesn't effectively distinguish between the excitement of perceived risk and the excitement of desire. Both activate the same chemical cascade. Emotionally, It's about spontaneity, breaking routine, and the thrill of the unexpected. Practically, and I say this as your physician, it carries real risk. Being caught in a public place can have legal consequences in most jurisdictions. If you're curious, weigh that carefully. I'm not here to judge your choices. I am here to make sure you make them with full awareness. Number 9, anal intimacy, yes. This one is far more common than most people realize or openly admit. 43% of men and 30% of women report engaging in this activity at some point. Biologically, this region contains a significant density of nerve endings. For men specifically, it provides access to the prostate, which can be a source of intense sensation. Emotionally, it can carry cultural stigma, but for many couples, it represents a deep act of trust and willing exploration. Practically, it requires thoughtful preparation, generous lubrication, a slow and patient pace, and clear, ongoing communication between partners to prevent discomfort or injury. If this is something you're curious about, educate yourself first. Talk openly with your partner. Take your time and always prioritize comfort and safety above everything else. Number 10, playful impact. Spanking here's the one that genuinely surprises people. About 30% of Americans admit to playful impact or light spanking during intimate moments. Biologically, mild sensation and pleasure activate overlapping brain pathways, both releasing endorphins that can heighten overall arousal. Emotionally, it can be playful, adventurous, or even deeply intimate depending on the dynamic between partners. Practically, this is entirely safe as long as it is fully consensual. Agree on clear boundaries in advance. Use a safe word. And respect each other's comfort levels without hesitation. This is not about pain, it's about trust, playfulness, and adding meaningful variety to your intimate life. Bringing it all together, so what do you do with all of this? Number 1, talk openly with your partner. Curiosity and communication build trust. Ask what excites them. Share what excites you. Number 2, prioritize safety. Whether that means protection from infections, digital caution with photos, or physical preparation for new experiences, respect your health and your partner's health equally. Number 3, explore slowly. Novelty can be exciting, but it is most rewarding when approached with patience, care, and genuine mutual enthusiasm. You don't have to try everything on this list. In fact, most couples settle into a handful of activities they genuinely love and connect through. The goal was never to check boxes. The goal is to create intimacy that makes you both feel alive, valued, and close. I want you to hear this clearly, and I want you to really take it in. There is nothing strange about you if you've explored some of these activities. Normal, there is nothing wrong with you if you haven't. Also, completely normal. And if you're curious but hesitant, that's okay too. Your intimate life is valid. Your desires are part of being fully, beautifully human. Age does not mean closing the door on passion, intimacy, or exploration. Some of the most connected, vibrant couples I see in my practice are the ones who keep curiosity alive, whether that's through something as simple as special clothing, shared storytelling, or a deeper, more intentional conversation before bed. So here's my challenge to you tonight. Talk to your partner. Ask what excites them. Share what excites you. And remember, it's not about doing everything on this list. It's about creating intimacy that makes you both feel genuinely alive together. If you found this helpful or eye-opening, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little honest reassurance that they are not alone in what they feel. I'm Dr. Cyra Malik, reminding you that your age does not define your vitality. Small, intentional changes can spark profound transformations in your health, your confidence, and your intimacy. See you in the next one.